Okay, finally. Okie dokie. Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold, and unfortunately right now I cannot play Paragon version 42. The new update's here, but no one can really get in. The servers are not working right now, and therefore it is a struggle to get in, and even those who can actually get in are struggling to play right now. Now I thought I could try and do something else and maybe stream another game, but I figured that I'm gonna still do some work in the background. Let me mute myself because now I'm hearing myself in the background. It's kind of weird. Give me a second. Okay, now I can no longer hear myself. That's good. What I'm hoping to do in the future is to make a lot more content for Paragon. It's a game which I really like. It's one which I really want to support. And I think you guys should check it out. I think if you like the games I've had on my channel before, then you will definitely like this one. It's a pretty good game. And one of the things I like the most about this game is the deck building. The deck building is an important part of this game, and if you've seen me on videos such as Yu-Gi-Oh! Or other similar games, you know I like my strategy, I like my deck building, and it's what I like to spend a lot of time doing. Now, in the recent update, they took out all the cards in the game and replaced them with brand new ones, and they completely reworked how the card system works. And I thought to myself, why don't I go through those cards and begin to evaluate them based on what's good and what's not good, and start to try and work out who should be using what type of cards and which cards we should be totally avoiding. And I thought I'll make this Google Docs here of my findings, and I'm going to share this with the world once it's complete. But here it is. As you can see, at the moment we're on the growth affinity, and I'm going through each of the cards in the alphabetical order. We've got their primary attribute, and then we've got this cost for that, and then secondary attribute. I've done a little calculation to work out how much gold that means the card costs, and then I've tried to assume what kind of heroes would want to kind of pick up this card, and I've gone primarily by role, as that's a bit more generic, and then I've given some examples of some recommended heroes if I can get a bit more specific. What I've decided that I'm going to do since starting this is I'm going to start colouring in the rows. So red means a card isn't really good, green means a card is fantastic, keep an eye on it, or maybe I'll make it gold or something, and then maybe I'll have like amber as the middle card. I don't know just yet. I've already noticed there's some flaws in this system. For example, what I need to consider as well as with card effect is the cost for it and who would be building these kind of attributes. And so I'm going to start going through each of these cards, and this is really what the stream is going to be. It's not going to be anything flashy. When I can get in, I will be able to get in and start playing the game actually, but until then I thought I'd just do a bit of Theorycrafting, and if anybody wants to participate, then I'm more than welcome to join in as well. And yeah, we'll just go through there and we'll just see how we go. So let me see if I should just try something and see if this works. Yep, this works here. We can swap between one screen and the other. So if I press this button here and I press this button, it swaps between one and the other, so that should work. Alright, let me see something. Mixed Race Gamer says, yo, you got the Walking Dead thumbnail on this screen. That is absolutely correct. Thank you, MRG. I need to change that. Yes, that's still Clementine. I probably won't update until I restart the stream, but I will try and find a generic thumbnail for the time being. And I actually haven't got one, but I'm not gonna make one. That would do. That would do. Paragon sorted. Alright, hopefully that will update itself. But yeah, let's get into these cards and just start evaluating it. Like I said, it's not going to be too exciting. It's nothing really too crazy. It is just going to be me basically talking to myself a lot. But until we can actually play the game, then, you know, I thought I'll just do this in the background as we are going and start coming up with some ideas. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. Currently we are on the growth affinity. In the new system, when you build a deck, you have to choose 2 affinities for your deck. And it's growth, knowledge, order, death, and chaos. And when you go pick your 2, then you get the cards from those 2 affinities, and you can put them into your deck to choose for your heroes. Now, I'm using Paragon.db with their cards here, so the descriptions are correct as to this website. And we're going to go through these cards one at a time. Let me just check what OBS is showing. OBS is showing the right screen, and that's good. So we've got Apex Predator, growth common, 10 power, 14 attack speed. And the reason why also I'm doing this before I start is I'm assuming that I'm going to have all the cards when I start playing, because I've already kind of collected them all and they're going to be rewarded to me in veteran chests. So I'm not really worried about having the rarities or having anything missing or anything like that. So yeah, that's not going to bother me at all. So this one is 10 power, 14 attack speed. It's 2 vitality, 5 intellect. Empowering strikes grants a stack of 0.6 power when damaging enemy heroes, maximum 50 stacks. At maximum stack limit, gain 18 plus ability armor. Now I had to think to myself, who would be using this? And originally I thought this would be more for attacking, because it's got power, it's got a little bit of attack speed, and yeah, it's a card made for heroes who are going to be attacking other heroes. So initially, if I go to press LF1, I was thinking more for carries and bruisers. Carries being, you know, the main heroes that attack other heroes, and bruisers also being the kind of heroes that are frontliners that work really well. But after realizing what the cost was, I've actually fought against that. Intellect 5, Vitality 2. That means you are focusing into your mana and your mana regen, and then your Vitality is your health regen and your basic armor. Now, I don't think necessarily a carry or a bruiser will be wanting to build up their mana quite a lot. I don't really think they're going to be building up intellect on these roles, so I made a mistake there. I'm going to change that. What I'm going to change this to is I'm going to change this to who would really be doing that. Maybe, of course, a caster would want to do so. A caster who wants to maybe build a bit of resistance. Maybe this is more for a support hero, but a caster. But the question is, what kind of support hero, what kind of well, casters are fine. Casters won't really want to build attack speed, but supports would not want to build attack speed either. Power is it's okay on. For casters it's good, for supports it's meh. So I mean, I'm going to say casters really, but otherwise I think this is a bad card. I don't think anyone really should be touching this card. I don't think it's that good. Okay, so next card we have, I need a way to manage my screens a bit better. I need a way to have OBS open and be able to see all my screens at the same time. So give me a second while I play around with my sources. I'm going to put that like that. Let me see how this looks. That's not terrible, but kind of terrible. Let's see if I can make this bigger somehow. Let's go to... This would be a good situation to have dual screens. That would be really helpful for this kind of thing. I'm going to make this full screen again. And I'm just going to have to jump between. I'm not expecting anyone to watch this anyway, so whatever. Okay, so let's go to the cards. And now we've got Awaken Ancient. Free agility, 10 vitality, a very defensive card, 15 power, attack speed, and a lot of health. Deal 1 bonus damage to less targets with less vitality than you. Amount is increased by vitality difference. This is definitely for bruisers. Anyone who's going to be building a lot of basic armor is going to like this kind of card. So if we press this button here, and let's see if that worked. Nope, Alt F2. And I've said this would be good for bruisers and tanks, for example Quang, Steel, and other similar ones here. And I think this card is okay. I think this is decent to keep in mind. It is quite expensive, but think 13,000, that's around mid-game-ish. So, yeah, I think that's not too bad. Let me color this in. We'll color it in amber since it's an okay card. Okay, Battle Shepherd. This card here I think is kind of garbage. I think this is one of the worst cards we've got so far. 9,000 gold. It does have a cultivate effect which reduces the gold cost per attribute point purchased. So this card, well, let me think about that. How many attributes would you have to make this to be free? 10 attributes for 8,000 gold. 11. If you had 12 attributes, this would basically be free. So later in the game this would be okay, but then by this time you wouldn't really want this kind of card. Nearby allied minions gain 12 health regen and 6 power. Effect disabled if another hero is nearby. I think this card is garbage. I think this card is quite terrible. I don't think anybody should be using that card at all. Let's delete that. Not even delete that, let's put that on red. I don't think that's a very good card at all. Oh, that's not red. Do we have a... do we have a quick set? Is that the same one? Nope, it's not the same one. What is the color red that I used? Nope, not that one there. And I need to make this easier. Let me see. Was it this one? No, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. What color did I use? I can't even remember now. Alright, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna just change the one from before. Let me use a different color maybe. Let's make that color for bad. Put it to this one here. Yellow, let me make it this way, lighter yellow, so it's not so strong. That's fine. Okay, Chanting Shaman. Let's go back to that one and see what it's like. Chanting Shaman. It's over here. I need to put my things together as well, so let me mess around with my settings for a second. Put that next to each other. Okay, so Chanting Shaman. Shared Wisdom, gain 50% mana regen for each nearby ally. I think this is okay. I think if you're going to be using this, you're going to be a support hero. It's only one intellect, so I think that's kind of fair. So if we go to this resource over here, supports will like this because you're going to be nearby your carry in the early game, so you're going to be nearby another hero. Let me just read the effect again. It is 50% mana regen for each nearby ally. Now I don't know how big your mana regen is earlier on, but I guess if you've got a decent amount of mana regen earlier on, let's say you had about 4, doubling it would be about 2, so that would be good. It'd be like a potion worth, or a what's that called? Like a healer's token, but a mana token version of it. So that would be good, okay, for more support heroes because you're going to be nearby another ally. I don't think it's going to be good for anyone else. I'm actually going to delete this. Just support heroes will be good for that card, and I think that's not a bad card to keep yourself sustainable. I think you probably would want to go for more of a different type of support card, maybe something that actually helps your carry, but to be sustainable is quite good too. So I'm going to put this on that yellow that I chose, if I can remember which one it was, and there it is. I think that's an okay card. Okay, so now we are off onto Coin Master. Coin Master, we have gain 8 bonus gold for every 10 seconds, increases to 16 bonus gold while out of combat. Now we've got to think about this in kind of perspective. First of all, this is a vitality card, so 1 vitality, so people that like to build defense is going to be grabbing this card. 8 bonus gold is nice, and I guess it's kind of nice, but you've got to consider how long would that take to build like 1,000, which is what we are really kind of dealing with when it comes to attributes. So if I was to go to my calculator here, you can't see this on screen, but I'm going to do a little bit of math. If we were to say how long would it actually take to do get 1,000 gold through this card? 1,000 divided by 8 would be 125. If we times that by 10 for 10 seconds, that would be 1,250 seconds. It's divided by 60 to make that into minutes, and that will take about 20 minutes. 20 minutes to kind of get 1,000 gold. Now, free gold is nice, free gold is good, but mostly it's quite long. It's quite a long way to do so. Now the second part of it increases the 16 bonus gold while out of combat is a bit better. If we were completely out of combat for 10 minutes, then of course that would be half, so that would be 10 minutes, so you'll take to make 1,000 gold. But I still think it's still it's too little in my opinion, so I don't really like this card particularly, but I know a lot of people do. But I think this card would be mostly useful for supports and tanks, those kind of people who aren't going to be in combat a lot, who in the early phase, who are going to be just standing there and building their mana, or building their XP while supporting their carry. I don't really think this is a good card though, so I'm going to ignore this card, and I'm going to fill this with the red color if I can remember what it is. And nope, that's the wrong one. It's a bit more pink. Let's go to red, and voila, there we are. Okay, so now we've got coursing safer. Let's go to coursing safer, 6 agility, 2 vitality. So if you're going to be building damage, and if you're going to be building defense, this is more for you. 17 attack speed, 26 basic armor, speedy purification, purify yourself, gaining 250 movement speed for 1.5 seconds, 75 mana, 90-second cooldown. Excuse me. Okay, so what I'm thinking with this card is it's more for bruiser types, and it's also maybe for tanks because of that armor, because of the stats you'll be building. Mostly for bruisers because of that attack speed. I wouldn't necessarily worry about it on someone else than that. In regards to the effect itself, purity yourself. This is purity. I'm sure that means purify. Purifying yourself means to get rid of any debuffs. Now I'm thinking about who would be in a situation where they would want extra armor and are almost guaranteed to have debuffs on them and could do with some extra movement speed. And I thought bruisers could definitely do with that. Someone like Greystone could be great for this, because Greystone has his ultimate, and when he uses his ultimate, the best thing you want to do against a Greystone is as soon as he comes down, you want to kind of just CC him to death so he can't run away from you, and kill him so that his extra health doesn't matter. Similarly speaking, anyone who really dives in for front lane is also going to be good for this. So Steel, I think Aurora might work well for this, but she has other ways, she could have other means of escape. So really, bruisers and tanks, I think is what this card is for. And I'm going to paint this a yellow because it's mediocre. It's not something crazy, but being able to heal yourself of debuffs is really good, even though it's only every 90 seconds. So that's definitely a maybe. Depending on who we're playing against, you definitely might want that card. In some situations, it might not be effective. 8,000 gold, that's about mid-game card or early to mid-game. So yeah, it's not bad. Definitely more towards the bruisers than the tanks in my opinion though. Okay, so next card we have is Exoskeleton. Exoskeleton, reduce damage taken from enemy heroes by 8. Early game card, 1 vitality. I think this is really going to be only for those offlaners. Anyone who's going to be in the early game, kind of in the offlane taking damage, and you want to reduce that. I don't know all the other cards, so I can't say how good it is, but I think it's okay. Making your hero a little bit more tanky in the early game. Plus, because you've got vitality, you got a little bit extra health regen on your hero, so that's nice too, and you got a bit of basic damage. So I think this could be nice in the early game for some heroes. So I think this is decent as an offlane card. I mean, this would be in replacement of, you say, your healer token and your health potion in what the previous game used to be. So let's make that in a different color. I'm using the wrong color again. Yeah, see, I'm swear these colors are swapping themselves. That is not the color I chose from before. I could have sworn it was that card. That one there, there it is. There's the color. And there we go. Again. Okay, next is Flame of Seeking, or Flame of Seeking. Flame of Seeking, 2,000 gold. Cultivate card. Gold cost is reduced by 800 per attribute you have. If it is 2,000, then to reduce it to so it is free would be 1, 2, 3. You need 3 attributes to make it free, which is pretty damn good in my opinion. 400 at 2 attribute points. This is only 400 gold. At 1 attribute point is 1,200 gold. I think this is a very good card. It gives you a little bit of attack speed, and it gives you an AoE effect. Deal 502 damage to neutral or enemy minions. Damage increases by 150 with each use. 25 mana every 45 seconds. I think this is a fantastic card. I think this is a great card, and I think particularly you're gonna like seeing this card on junglers and offlaners. I think junglers and offlaners are gonna love this card. It's a great early game card. I think it can carry you away through the early game towards the mid game, towards maybe the late game when you start to sell your card for the better ones. I think it's a really good card. Let's make this green, and yeah, as you can see, this is, I put down, no, I don't know what color that is. Green, there we go. That it's not the green I like. Let's make it even more special. Let's make it a bright green. Wait a second, really good card. Great card. I think that's fantastic. Assuming I don't misunderstand how Cultivate works. Okay, so now we are off onto Green Spring. Green Spring, 20 basic armor, 3 vitality cost, 8.4 health regen when out of combat. I think this is okay. I think this is pretty decent. I think this is perfect for a lot of certain heroes. I think if we go over to our deck list here, I think I really made a choice here. I think for tanks, they're going to love this card, and for bruisers, they're going to find it okay, find it decent if you want that kind of early game defense. I thought it would be fun to have this card on someone like Kwang, because Kwang has originally got his lifesteal, so building a bit more health. Outside of battle, he's recovering health, and inside of battle, he's recovering health. I think it's kind of fun for that, but he's also got that armor. I think it's a really good card. I'm going to make that green. I think it's great, and for that value, 20 armor, pretty decent. Yeah, I think that's a really good one. Let's make that green. Growth Totem, I think this card is garbage. I can tell you that already without even looking at it. Growth Totem, gains 0.8 power and 15 max health every minute. This effect has no limit. Gold cost is reduced by 800 per attribute point. So to make this free, let's do a math. Well, 4,000 divided by 8 would be 5. So 6. You will need 6 attribute points. So you need to have already spent 6,000 gold in order to make this cost effectively free, if it's possible to make it free. If not, then at least 5,000 gold you need to have spent. So this is a more after, I would say, after tier 1 towers are down kind of card. So I would say this, you won't be getting this card until at least, I want to say, 5 to 10 minutes in, at being most optimistic. 0.8 power and 15 health every minute. That's really not good. That means in 10 minutes you get 8 power and 150 health. That's quite poor. Yeah, you wouldn't want to keep this card in the late game. I don't really think this is a good card at all. I think it's actually quite poor. So yeah, I don't like it personally. I don't think it's worth the cost, even though it can be made to be free. But if we go back to our spreadsheet, I don't think I'll be using this card at all. Let's make that red. And the red that we were using is light red. Is it light red? It's light red. We got it. Okay, so Highwayman. 1 mana regen. Whenever you deal damage to a hero, gain 75 gold. The mana regen is meh. Barely really anything you need. Whenever you deal damage to a hero, gain 75 gold. So it's an early game card, it's a 1-point card. You're going to be thinking to yourself, how are you going to be attacking heroes in the early game? Who can consistently attack heroes in the early game? And that is obviously your jungler, your carry, and your safe lane support. I don't really think it's going to be good on the jungler, particularly because you're going to be in the jungle and not fighting heroes straight away. So I'm going to say safe lane. Definitely the support heroes, maybe even the carries. This could be a good card for you. Let me see how long it takes to pay for this card. It says every time you deal damage. Now that leads me up to, like, is it every single instance you deal damage? Can a dot count as that? We won't know until we find out. I think something that would be good on this card would be someone like FaZe. Using her energy lance with this card, it hits you multiple times, and therefore you are building that gold quite quickly, if that works. Let's do 1,000 divided by 75. So you would have to hit your enemy 14 times to pay for this card. I think on a support in the early game, that's quite feasible. I think that's quite possible. I think this is a fantastic early game card for support. let's go to our build thing here, and as you can see, I said phase and maybe Revenant. I'm wondering if something maybe like Obliviate kind of hits multiple times like it does with Tainted Magic, or did with Tainted Magic, and therefore you are just racking up that gold quickly. If that works, I think this could be really good for him too. So let's put on green. Great card for supports particularly. I don't want that in font, sorry. Let's undo that. Let's do that in fill, and there we go. And now we go back to the next card. Next card is Malenk Nasha. 19 power, 140 mana, 13 intellect cost, 1 mana regen as well. Rampaging spells, I'm sure that is supposed to say. Ability hits on enemy heroes grant a stack, which increases your damage against that hero by 4% for 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 8 times. I'm thinking that for a card like this, first of all, you've got to consider that you're building intellect, which means you're building your mana and your mana regen. That's going to be mostly just your casters and maybe even your supports. Now you've got to think about a hero who is maybe building intellect, but also has a multiple hitting move. And to me, that is casters such as Gideon and Gadget, who focus on their damage too. Gideon and Gadget, they could probably benefit from this. Gideon obviously has his black hole, he teleports up, he does his AoE, multiple hits, bam 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 bam, stacking more and more damage the more he hits his opponent, and it's only for a 10-second period, so you've got to be quick with this one. It's not something you do over time in a poking style manner. So I think Gideon could be really good for this, and Gadget as well. She has that multi-hitting ult, and her drone is also a multiple hitting move, so I think maybe for those two this could be good. I don't know how good it is, but I think it could be decent on them. So let's put I'll make this a green. I think that could be a good damage increase, a unique card for them. So we'll put that thing. It is 13,000 gold. That is roughly halfway through your investment if you want to count 25 as being your goal. So yeah, I think that's okay so far. One of the tribe, one of the tribe, 22 power, 420 health, not bad stats. It costs 10 agility, 3 vitality, so you're looking at people that want attack speed, and what are the 2 stats? It's attack speed, and give me a second while I just double check. Agility gets 1.5 attack speed and basic defense. So, basic defense, maybe a tank as well. So, agility is going to be attack speed, it's going to be your tanks, it's going to be your ADCs. Let me go back to the list. Where's OBS? There it is. And let's go back to the list. And originally, I was saying maybe like a bruiser or a carry would want this one. Because you are building that damage, you're building that attack speed, which is what you kind of really be invested into. But the effect itself isn't that good in my opinion. What's the effect again? The effect is gain plus 15 power. Oh, it's not that bad actually, it's not this one. Plus 15 power for each nearby allied hero. Now a carry is always ideally going to be with at least one hero, which should be their support, so that's plus 15 power. The most you can get with this is extra 60 power if your whole team is around you. So it's a decent boost in power. I don't think it's that bad actually. Possibly a jungler could do like this card as well. I think it's quite versatile. I think this is actually not a bad card. I think you get a lot of power for what you want. So let's go back to that worksheet, and we have I said bruisers, Quang, and Greystone. But actually I would think this might even be better on a carry, because carries have supports. So I'm going to prioritize carry. Second of all, we're going to say bruiser, possibly jungler, but I'm going to say bruiser. And let's say someone like Sparrow, who always needs support until the late game, always likes that phase, and other supports as well. But also someone like, I don't know, Greystone. Greystone's fine, building up attack speed and also a bit of vitality. I think that's a decent card. I think if you're constantly, so I'm going to put that on green. I think that's okay. Pack Leader, on the other hand, I think this is the one I was thinking of before we were talking about one of the tribe. Pack Leader, I don't really like. I think Pack Leader is quite poor. 1 agility and 2 intellect. So who would be building agility and intellect in the early game? Mana and attack speed and basic defense. I can't really think of anyone that would be building those stats, which is what makes me think this is quite bad. Other than that, it gives you 8 power, and it gives you the ability bullseye, mark an enemy, nearby allied minions will attack that target for 30 seconds. Meh. Meh. I think it's pretty meh, to be honest with you. 60 mana is quite expensive in the early game. I don't think this is a good card at all. I think it should be avoided at all costs. Let's ignore that card and get rid of pack leader. Yeah, don't even worry about what I had here. That's just the standard. I think this is a terrible card. Let's put that in red, light red. Ignore that card. This could take a long time. I don't know how long this is going to take, but you know, it's something to do while we wait for the service to get back up, so it's something to do. So now we have Pensive Shaman. Pensive Shaman. Let's type this in. Pensive Shaman. We've got Pensive Shaman, cost 2 agility, 5 intellect. Who would be building not agility, sorry, 2 vitality, 5 intellect. Who would be building vitality and intellect? That's your defense, that's your health, and your mana. Maybe someone like Zinx might want this card. This gets 240 health, 1 mana regen, regenerative mana passive, regenerate health equal to 20% of mana restored. I think this is amazing on Zinx. I think that would be great on her. I can't really think of anybody else right now, but Zinx would love that card. That would be great on Zinx. So this was the primary, was the 5 intellect, so intellect, and then we've got vitality at 2, so 7,000 gold, and this is definitely for tank. Don't know if it would be for all tanks, but for someone like Zinx, I think that would be very good. Perhaps support as well. I think support would like this as well, actually. So I'm gonna say Zinx. If we loads, and I can see this also being good on someone like FaZe. What is the effect again? Let me just check one more time. It is regenerate health to mana restored. So who can restore their mana? Not sure. Not sure. But no, not sure. At the moment, at least, not sure. So I'm just gonna put Zinx because of her natural abilities. But who else is good at just recovering mana? Bellica is, but not really want anyone else. So yeah, I'm gonna play tank and support, leave it at Zinx. I think it's an okay card. I think for Zinx it could be really amazing. Particularly her. Green, no, let's go for yellow. Until I know it's a bit more generic. I think Zinx is going to be really good in v42 as well. I think now that we're in the system that she was made to be for, I think it's going to be great for her. Okay, next we are on to Redemption Spring. Growth Common, 5 Fit, 3 Intellect, 300 health, 25 basic armor, tanky stats, Purify Self after taking 300 damage. This is like Toxigel. Let me think. It's a good bit of health, it's a good bit of armor. 8, that's not bad. Mixture, I think it's not bad. I think 300 health isn't a lot. I think that's actually quite achievable. Alt F2. Let's go to that wasn't Pensive. What was it called? It was called Redemption Spring. Redemption Spring. And it was, what were the stats again? 5 Fit, 5 Fit, and ooh, I pressed the run button. My spreadsheet's freaking out. Give it a second, it's loading. 5 Fit and 2 intellect, 3 intellect, 3 int. When the spreadsheet catches up. Definitely someone that was a tank. Bruisers could also benefit this as well if you are worried about CC. I think this could be good. I think this could be a decent card for early game tanking and team fights. So I think someone like a Steel will like this card. Let me think. Steel, tanks like Steel, and other similar heroes, offlaners, bruisers like who would be a good one? Greystone, obviously Greystone. Good. I think that'll be a decent card for them. Don't know if it'd be amazing wow, but I think that'll be a decent card for them. Let's go light yellow 2. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We've got Sprykin. 140 mana, 1 mana regen. 1 mana regen is not great. Restoration link active. You and target ally gain 60% of your missing health and mana over 10 seconds. Well, it's definitely obviously a support card. Definitely a support card. It's not a bad card. That's kind of like quenching scales, but not immediately. 60% of your missing health over 10 seconds is pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good. So if I had 1200 health and I was missing, let's say I was at 600, 60% of that would be 60 times 4, or 60 times 6. That would be 360 health. It's not terrible. And mana as well. Not bad. I think I like it. I think it's decent. I think this is going to be your quenching scales. So it's kind of a mid-game card. Let's go to the deck list. Sprykin. And let's say, what was the stats on it again? It was 2 vitality, 5 intellect. So intellect is the primary. If it loads up, we'll just choose it from the list. Intellect, vitality, 5 and 2. Definitely want this on supports. I think this is a great card for supports. Maybe casters too. Maybe casters if you want a bit of sustainability. I can see this maybe being good for casters, so I'm going to put it on casters too. I can see this being good on heroes. Obviously support heroes like FaZe, etc, etc. Let's choose FaZe. Where is she? But also I can see it maybe being good on heroes like Iggy if you want to do tank Iggy. Let's put it on the let's put it on Muriel. I think Muriel will work well. Her and her shields along with the recovery be great. And let's put green. Okay, next card we have is Swift Hunter. 10 power, 15 attack speed, Executor's Rush, plus 120 movement speed for 10 seconds after killing an enemy unit. 7 agility. The stats are okay. I think it's a bit low for that much. The movement speed is what you're basically going for. I don't really... I'm not a big fan of it personally. I think it's meh. I think for that point in the game, I would want to, as my mindset is right now, I would want to invest in something else instead of movement speed for 10 seconds after getting a kill. I don't really think it's worth it, but it might be really useful, say on a counters or someone who's really good at just hitting kills after kills. But I'm not a big fan. Maybe even a Chimera, but yeah, no, it's not really for me. Swift Hunter. Let's go for. It was just 5. It was 5 or 7. I think it was 7. How much was it? 7 vitality, agility. So maybe a jungler, maybe. I would say maybe a jungler. We'll put this on. Someone who's an assassin type hero, but I don't really think it's worth it. Possibly a bruiser, but I'm not even going to hold my breath on that one. Let's color this in. Let's go for, yeah, let's go for that color. No, that's our middle color, isn't it? Let's go for dark red. If it can, yep, there we go, dark red. And voila. Next card is the Mother Tree, one that's been talked about before. 1 agility, 1 vitality, 4 health regen, which is quite a lot for that cost. Jungle Restoration passive, 1.5 mana regen and 2.2 health regen in the jungle. Not bad, I like it. I think this would be good for someone like a Rampage, who obviously has that natural health regen. I can see it being good on Kwang if he wants a bit more sustain. Chimera, definitely good, decent card for that. Whether you want that health regen and not say some power or attacks maybe to help you with camps, I don't know, but I think it's not bad. I think it's decent. I think the best thing you can maybe hope for this card is that you get it early and then hope that you have enough health and mana to go and start ganking someone. So I think for junglers this is a decent card. Let's go to the sheath, the Mother Tree. Its Mother Tree is 1 vitality, 1 agility, and definitely junglers would like this. Don't think it would be good for anyone else besides that really. And let's say, unless maybe you wanted it in the off lane, maybe if you were a bruiser in the off lane and you wanted that kind of healer token style card, maybe it would be good for that. I actually don't think it would be too bad for that, so I think that would be fair. So I'm going to actually use that. Let's say bruisers, and I'm going to say, if it loads, it's been a little bit slow, I guess because it's streaming. Bruiser, I'm going to definitely say someone like Rampage and someone like Grey could probably use that. I think it's a good card. I think it's a decent card. 4 health regen, that's pretty good in the early game. That's really, really quite good. Okie dokie. Thunder Cleaver. We all know this card. Increases cleave damage by 50. Amazing card. Active. Deal 100% basic attack. It's Thunder Cleaver. It's good old Thunder Cleaver. Amazing card. Definitely great. Useful in so many decks. If we go to... that's going to be useful in anyone that could use it now is going to be able to use it later. I should consider the stats though, just in case it's anything weird. I don't think it's going to be building mana to get this card. It's one word now, isn't it? Thunder Cleaver. It used to be 2 words. Let's see. Go back over here. Thunder Cleaver. And we've got 3 agility, 5 vitality. So yeah, bruisers definitely will like this. I think that's great for them. Tanks, not so much, but it's okay for them. So it was vitality is 5, agility is, was it 3 or 2? 3. So that's fairly good. That's a good cost for Thunder Cleaver in my opinion, now that you don't have to upgrade it or anything. And bruisers definitely, junglers definitely. Great card. Let's put that on. Let's put that on Wu. No, Wukong won't need that. Let's put that on Greystone. And let's say, I'm gonna say Kwang, because he's got such good AoEs. And yeah, that'll do. Let's see, what else is there now? Let's see, what's the next card here? F1. Next card we have is Trapper. Epic Rarity. 15 power, 32 attack speed, 8 agility, 4 vitality. Slowing strikes passive. Basic attack reduce enemy movement by 10 for 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. At max stats, root your target for 1 second. That's not a bad card. That's pretty good. I like it. Who would use that card? Someone like a Sevarog maybe? It would need to be, well, it's only a 5-second period. It would need to be someone that can attack a lot, and I mean a lot, in 5 seconds. Now we have got a new attack speed buff, so everyone's attacking faster than they used to. The question is, who's going to be attacking really, really fast? Considering you're building agility, that's going to be happening anyway. in order to buy this card. So I'm gonna guess that the people that like this are anyone that wants to stick to a hero. Basically, Seraph would be great for this. I think Sev will be good on this card because he loves to stick to heroes. Wukong would, if this works with Wukong's clones, that would be nuts. Yeah, I think I have a lot of heroes. Basically, your melee heroes will love this card. So let's go to our sheet. Trapper, junglers, I'm gonna mostly say, because offlaners, they sometimes have the focus to solo, so they won't really get the use out of this. But your junglers, those assassin type heroes like Chimera, I think a Chimera will love this card with his attack speed. I think that would be good on them. Let me see, what was the stats again? It was 8 to 4, so 8 agility, 4 vitality. I'm going to definitely say Chimera because he has that natural attack speed buff. And I don't think there's anybody else that has like a natural attack speed boost. Let's say Jungler, and we'll also say Bruiser. And I'm going to say Chimera and Wukong. Where is Kaimi? Chimera is here. Wukong is there. Although Wukong tends to solo, doesn't really focus on doing that so much. Okay. Almost done with growth. We've got 4 more cards to go. First we have Tyrant. 15 power, jungle health passive, 3 agility, 3 vitality. After 50 jungle minions kills, gain 200 max health. Okay. Jungle power passive, gain 0.4 power for every jungle minion killed. 10 of those would be 4 power. I think, personally, I don't think this is a great card. I think this card comes too little too late. I think by the time you're, let's say 50 jungle minions, once you've bought this card, that's 6,000 gold. So I'm going to say you're after 5 minutes. Then at that point you're really starting to transition into the team fight phase a bit more. The health is okay. The power boost is meh. It's actually really easy to build up that power. 10 minions. I think Several could maybe like this because he's going to be going back to the jungle a lot. But I don't think it's an amazing card. I think it's okay. So what was that card called again? That was called Tyrant. People that will be going to the jungle a lot are going to benefit from this card. So let's put this onto light yellow. And it was 3 vit, 3 agility. So agility, 3 vit, 3. And then we're going to say jungle. And I guess also bruisers in a way, but not really so much. I'm only going to say junglers. And the people I'm going to say are Sev. Sev will like this. And Sevarog. And who else would be really good for this card? Rampage. Let's put Rampage just because he's a jungle. Sorry, just checking the stream. Music is a little loud, so I'm gonna turn it down a bit. And yeah, okay. Let's see. Paragon, Unbroken Spirit. 13 power, 480 health, 36 basic armor, reactive regeneration passive, heal for 3% max health over 4 seconds after being hit by hard crowd control, whatever that means. This effect may stack. Again, another Toxigel style card. The stats are okay. Yeah, I think this is an okay card. Can't say it's amazing, but it seems okay. The stats are pretty good. I like it. And if you're building this, if you're primarily focusing on vitality and you want maybe a bit more of that basic armor because you're not building, I think this is a good card. Unbroken Spirit is pretty good. Let's put that in. So Unbroken Spirit. Question is, who will like that the most? I think tanks, definitely. The primary is vitality. Vitality is 10, and then agility was 3. Tanks, should we say tanks? Bruiser primarily, tanks secondary. So bruisers like Greystone, good old Greystone, but also tanks like Steel could do with their health regen. I think not necessarily so much Steel, but I don't think it could hurt Steel to have this. I think that's a decent card. Let's put that into green. Okay, couple more cards. Vengeful Maya, 300 health, 25 basic armor. Let me put on my PS4 while we're waiting. Let's see if I can get into the game. Vengeful Maya, 300 health, 25 basic armor, burst, slow, passive. Apply a minus 100 movement speed slow to nearby enemies after taking 300 damage. So, that could be good on Greystone. That could be really good on Greystone. But then again, it's 5 vitality and 3 intellect. Who would want to build vitality and intellect? Zinx, I guess. I think this could be good on Zinx. I can't really think of anyone who would want to build those 2 stats except for her. So, yeah, Zinx, possibly Richter, maybe. We will see. Anyway, I'm trying to log into Paragon in the background. We'll see if we can get in. What is this card called again? It's called Vengeful Maya. The primary was Vitality, 5 Vitality. And then Agility. No, it wasn't Agility, it was Intellect. Vitality, and then intellect, come on, 3 intellect, tank hero, possibly bruiser, but I wouldn't really go for it, and we'll say Zinx likes that. Wow, waited in queue for 3 hours 42 minutes. Yeah, no, we are not playing. We're not getting in. Definitely not. No, allow it. Let's put this onto light yellow. Okay, last card in growth. We've got Vital Waters. 325 health, 6 health regen, amplified healing passive. All healing effects cast and received are increased by 15%. 17 vitality. This is good for Phase. Anyone who's got really good healing. Phase would love this. Zinx would love this. Good card. I like it. I think that's a fantastic card. I think that's almost a must-have. I always forget the names. What's the name of the card? Vital Waters. Vital Waters. So I'm going to call it Vitality Waters. Vital Waters. Vitality 7. I'm going to say support. Certain support, not all support, but Narbash maybe benefits from this as well. So we'll say Phase, because she's obviously the main heal bitch. Phase and Zinx. Healing meta's still here. Okay, so growth overall. If we look at growth seems to be, if we look at our roles and sort by roles, growth seems to be better suited for bruisers, junglers, and support. Not necessarily for casters. Casters don't get a lot from this, so won't be playing any casters in here. But bruisers, junglers, and support definitely seem to like this. Support, this is definitely a support stat. Support has a lot of entries here. Junglers are quite a few, and junglers and bruisers kind of cross over. So definitely want to be from one of those two. There's quite a few good cards here too, particularly ones which focus on tankiness and on healing. So those types of heroes would do really well with this one. Couple of cards for bruisers too, but nothing too great and amazing. And that cultivate stat's quite nice for those unique cards as well. So let's move on to knowledge. I am going to quickly set up the next screen, and while I do that, I'm going to throw on a little break, and I'll be back in a second. That is not correct. Okie dokie. Okay, so we are now on to intellect. Got a brand new sheet ready over here. Had to make a couple of changes to get it ready, but now I have a default template, so that'll make life easier. Intellect, definitely an attribute I'm very interested in because I love to play caster heroes, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what good cards there are out there for our new mana based heroes. So let's put back on the first screen and make sure OBS is working. Just gonna check the stream real quick, give me a second, make sure everything's going. Sanic in the live chat's asking, I'm in a 3 hours queue, why? And it's because the servers aren't working. The servers, there's too many people trying to play right now, like the start of any kind of MMO. So yeah, I wouldn't be expected to play for at least the next 6 hours if I were you. Maybe not even next until tomorrow if I were you. There's just too many people trying to log in right now, and their servers are unable to deal with it. Still waiting for my stream to show up. It's gonna just take a second to catch up. Let me skip to live. Okay, so yeah, moving on to Intellect. Intellect, quite a few cards here. Let's go through them and start working our way through this list. First of all, we have Accelerator, Knowledge. Oh, this Knowledge. I keep calling it Intellect. Intellect is the attribute. Knowledge is something else. Knowledge, quicken, active, gain 120 movement speed for 180 seconds. Consumable. The card is removed after activation. 1,500 gold. I don't think this is that good. I think it's kind of garbage, to be honest with you. I wouldn't waste that gold on this card here. No. I think that card is garbage. Let's put Accelerator in. Accelerator. Doesn't matter how it's spelled, it's garbage anyway. 1,500 gold. It's bad. I think that's a bad card. If you really just didn't need the extra slot, then sure, maybe, but otherwise, I think, oh, not the font, sorry, not that it matters. I think this card is not good. I think it's a bad card. Alright, next is Advanced Evolution. Restorative Learning passive, restore 5% max health and 5% max mana over 3 seconds after leveling up. So after you level up, you get a kind of recovery boost. Over 3 seconds, 5%. Well, if you had like 1,000 health to begin with, I don't think anyone does. 5% of 1,000 would be 50, and then 50. No, I don't like it that much. It's okay, but I'd rather have it focus in one area than the other. So I wouldn't personally use that card, but other people might find it useful. And if there's no other better option, then maybe that's the best we're gonna get. But we'll have to wait to see. So that was called Advanced Evolution. Let's go to our deck builder. Advanced Evolution. Its primary cost attribute is Intellect, which a lot of these cards should be. 1 cost, which isn't bad. Casters, I need to just mess around with these calculations. Oh, these calculations are not correct. Let me just change this for a second. That's fine. It's the rest that's the problem. Give me a second, guys. Equals to primary cost. No, let's put this in brackets or parentheses. Primary cost times, not times, add it to the secondary cost times 1,000, and that says how much gold it costs. Who would use this? Casters maybe, yeah. Supports would be level up slowly. Offlaners maybe your offlaner, but yeah, maybe your offlaner, but even still, it's not a lot. It's really quite low. It's not really that much. Actually, it could be good on a bruiser. It could be good on the offlaner. 5%. It's just how much mana you're gonna recover. If it's like 400, that's only 20 mana. It's not really a lot. I don't like it personally, but maybe casters. I'm not even gonna worry about recommended hero. Let's put this as I don't really like it. I don't want to put it as yellow really. I want to put it as red. I don't really like it personally. I think it's too cheap. It depends on the base. If our mana pools have been tripled, then maybe it's good, but I don't really think it's that good. Okay, next we have Arcane Dancer, 7 Vitality, 10 power, 205 health, spell protection active, reduce ability damage taken by 85% for the next 6 seconds. Who would want that card? This card is kind of like a stasis gem. It's kind of like a stasis gem, isn't it? But it's only for ability damage. Maybe Gideon? Maybe Greystone? Maybe heroes who particularly make themselves vulnerable through their abilities for 6 seconds or so. Maybe. I think it's not terrible. I think this could be like your stasis gem replacement, so I don't think it's bad. I think it's okay, but I think it's situational is the word I'm looking for. And I'm not too sure who would use that actually. Arcane Dancer, I think it's a good card though. I like that. I think it's something you would definitely probably consider. Intellect, no, it's not intellect actually, it's vitality, isn't it? 7. Oh, I need to copy the formula all the way down here. Oh, I don't want it to be the same color though. What do I need to do? Change this to white. Not that it matters actually, but let's just be a little bit neat. So anyone could really benefit from this card. Anyone who, I don't want to say a specific role benefits from this card, but more like specific heroes. So I want to say possibly Greystone if he gets his ult. Maybe he wants to kind of reduce his intake when he comes back down. Who else would not want to take a lot of ability damage at once? A tank, maybe a tank, maybe like a steel. Maybe if you're being reactive to say like a Countess or a Morogesh, that could be a really good counter to them. I think anyone could really benefit from this card here. I think it's definitely something you might want to consider against in certain matchups. So I think that's a decent card. I'm gonna color that green. I think it's good. I can't think of anyone who'd want it all the time, but I think that's not bad. If you're building Vitality anyway, I think that could be a really good card. I think that makes it a lot better. Good thing it's not Intellect. So, Astral Leap. 1 mana regen, Blink. This is what I was looking for. Oh my god, I love Blink so much. Yeah, this is me. This is basically Teleblink. Mana regen cannot be used for 8 seconds after taking damage from an enemy hero. That's going to be a little bit more trickier than before, but that's perfect. Yeah, that's amazing. I used to use Blink on basically all my heroes. Definitely a good card. Definitely. Astral Leap. That's going to be going into all my decks straight away. Well, all the ones that use Intellect, at least. 4 Intellect, that's pretty cheap. Nice and early, which is when I like it. Definitely want that card. Wrong option. There it is. All my casters would be using that. Especially Gideon. Other heroes like Aurora as well. Gideon and Aurora definitely would both want this. Teleport in, do your ultimate, use your other abilities to get out. Bada bing, bada boom. Great card. Atomic Soldier, 17 power, 140 mana, 8 intellect, powerful spells, ability damage is increased by 10. That's pretty good. Not a lot to say, but other than that is really good. Ability damage is increased by 10%. Just trying to think of a good example where this would be good. It's not quite high traverser-ish, but I like it. I think it's good. I think every mage might want that. I think that's a cheap card as well. Atomic what? Atomic Soldier. Atomic Soldier. and it was 8 intellect. And I think, well, all casters might want this. All damage dealing casters are going to want this. Is there anybody else? Not really. Casters, is there anyone in particular who'd want this, who would benefit from it? Who's going to have high ability damage to begin with? Howitzer is one of the best. Gadget is up there. All casters really would want this, but is there anyone in particular who has maybe like a big spike in ability damage? I mean, Gideon, although he got nerfed a bit, so he's a bit more of a CC hero. Bellica, yeah, not so much, not the best example. Howie is definitely up there. Faye, Morigesh, Countess would love this. Countess would absolutely love that. Do you call Countess a caster or do you call her a bruiser? I don't know actually. She kind of fills the both roles there. Definitely seems like I'll be putting Countess into intellect though. Okay, Black Ice Routine, 17 power, 240 health, 15 mana, Ice Blast active, deal 250 damage to nearby enemies, and apply a minus 250 damage slow for 3 seconds. Kind of a lot like Aurora. Kind of like an Aurora ability. Vitality and mana. Again, that is a combination. 8 vitality for intellect. That's a combination which I don't expect to see a lot. It's basically Shockwave is what Shockwave used to do. I think this could be good on supports, and it could be good on certain casters who might want to build a lot of vitality. I think probably supports more than anything though. Maybe a couple of tanks here or there. So maybe Zinx. Zinx might like this card quite a bit. Although we don't have that many active slots, so I would definitely put Blink on Zinx. I don't know what else there would be. Maybe a ward. So let's go to our sheet. Black Ice Routine. By the way, I love the artwork on these cards. They are fantastic. It was Vitality was the primary. 8. No, that's got Intellect. Okay, Vitality. And then Intellect was 4. Support heroes, not bad. I don't think you'd be using this card a lot, but I do think it's kind of okay. Supports, maybe tanks. You want to slow down, who knows. Who would benefit from this ideally? Who could do with a Shockwave? Frontliners. I don't particularly know. Let me see the card again. If it does it to nearby enemies, I wonder if you can use it kind of like a Thunder Cleaver as well. If it's not just to enemy heroes. So that wouldn't be bad in that sense. Hard to say who this would be good for. A little hard to say. It's hard to say, but I want to say people that would slow each other. Maybe a Steel. Who else would want to slow? Is building Vitality and mana. Zinx maybe. Maybe Zinx. Supports. Let's go for Muriel. I want to say Muriel because Muriel can build quite tanky. Muriel and Zinx. I am going to put this on to yellow. And then I am going to go and use the bathroom, which is probably what I should have done before. And I'll be back very shortly. Light yellow. Okay. I'm going to go take a break. I'll be back in a second. Thank you for